Everyone tells you it's a good practice to build your email list. Not everyone tells you how to do that. So that's what we're going to take a look at today. I'm going to walk you through a method that I'm using to try to build my email list and configure it for the people who are interested in specific things. Hi, my name is William Beam with Suburbia Press. Let me give you an idea of what I'm talking about. And I've got a few lead magnets, things that people will download. It's kind of a temptation for them to get on your email list. And I've placed them in various areas of my website, hopefully attracting people to download them, get them on my email list, and then follow up with some other emails to kind of welcome them into the community to help them get more out of the lead magnet that they offer, that they subscribe to get. And I want to walk you through the process. It's not as straightforward as you would think. All right, so let's take a look at my site here. This is a page. It's under my start here, and I've got this long article on planning your business strategy. Not everybody has the time to read that. So my thought was I would put something in here that says you don't have time to read this online. There's the cover of the ebook. You can download a copy right now, and then you can go ahead and subscribe, and that will get them started. It's very simple on the front end because, as you can see, this is a longish article, and some of the other ones that I've put up here in this start here area, I have 6 different articles, and I've placed my lead magnet, a couple of them. As of this recording, I'll be doing this with all of them. In fact, let me bring this over to here. So I've got all these articles. So my lead magnet that I have on my welcome page is this thing about 5 great resources. And then I've got business tools, building a WordPress site. But there's also a couple others. In addition to these 6 articles that are showing up on this page, I've got information over here like membership secrets for somebody who goes to a page if they want to buy, let's say, Wishlist member. I am an affiliate for Wishlist member, and I can say, go to suburbiapress.com/wishlist. Right now, it takes them straight to the Wishlist member page. There's nobody warming them up, giving them more information. So I thought what I would do is I would create something that's called a bridge page. I'll have a little video out there and kind of show people what the opportunities are within Wishlist member. I'll mention that I have a course that I offer as a bonus if they buy Wishlist member from my affiliate. And also to get them on my email list, I'll give them this little ebook on Wishlist member, basically the secrets of a successful membership. This book isn't about Wishlist member, but it is about things that you need to know to help make your membership work very well for your community. So the idea is I will be creating little ebooks like this for some of the higher end products for which I'm an affiliate. I'll have a course for them. And it's hard to get somebody to buy just off of a link. So a lot of people go to my Wishlist member affiliate link. Not everybody obviously buys. And I think I can increase my conversions if I kind of warm them up with a video, give them an ebook, and then also have a sequence of emails that follows up and gives them more of the benefits. And they may not buy the first time through, but if they get warmed up and they understand more of what Wishlist member is and how it can work for them, then I think that will increase my conversions of making sales for Wishlist member. And I want to do the same thing with other products like FluentCRM, Fluent Support, and so forth. So how do I make this little funnel work to get people in? So you've seen the page where I come over here and I'll do this for each of these 6 ones. And I just add that. This is an opt-in form that I created on a service called ConvertBox. And it looks just like this, so you can edit this however you want to. I've decided for the practice of these 6 articles, they're all going to have this same format. Don't have time to read online. Everything over here is the same. The cover of the book is going to be different depending upon which article it is. And of course, when I come in here to the form, I can edit the form settings, and it's the integration that is a little bit different. So I have an integration with a webhook. ConvertBox at this time does not have a native integration with FluentCRM. It's something they've had a lot of people request. I think it'll be forthcoming sometime, hopefully within 2022, but that's okay. They have a webhook. I can create a webhook inside of FluentCRM, put it in here, and then I'll have that integration. So what happens, I just put, so I want to use webhooks. I put the URL in there, and I can send a test and see that it works. And that's it. It's very simple on the ConvertBox side. Most of the real work happens within FluentCRM. So let's take a look. So what I need to do in order to make this work is I need to create some email sequences. I need to create some automations, and I need to create some tags and lists. And you almost do this backwards. So, oh, and before I forget, obviously I need to create a webhook. So if I come over here to incoming webhooks, you can see that I've just put in this planning your business strategy, build a website with WordPress, and this best small business tool. So those are 3 of the 6 articles that I have, and I'll have more things over here. And then these other webhooks are for different purposes. The idea is really pretty simple. When you go over here and edit a webhook, it asks you, do you want to add people to a list? And do you want to add any tags? And what status do you put them in? Pending means that they're going to get an email asking them to confirm that they really did subscribe. And the other option is you could just have them subscribed right away. I don't like using that because then you don't have the double opt-in email to make sure that the person who filled out the form is really the person who's going to get what you receive. So that way you don't have anybody doing pranks on somebody else, and then you end up being the middleman sending email to people who don't want it. So this confirms when they go in pending, they'll get an email, say, hey, I saw that you signed up. If you want this, please click here to confirm. After that, it changes from pending to subscribed inside of the FluentCRM system. This is very similar in other CRM systems. So if you're using ConvertKit or ActiveCampaign or something like that, you'll want to use a double opt-in, and it'll work much the same way. Now, these fields over here are what you could put inside of your webhook. Fortunately, FluentCRM and ConvertBox use the same prefixes, so I don't have to do any additional work in ConvertBox to map their fields to FluentCRM. I just give it the webhook, and then it automatically maps to these fields. And I'm only asking for the email address and the first name. I don't want any more data than that, so I don't have to protect any more data than that. These little tags up here, notice I have a system tag, and that's part of a fulfillment process. And then I have a profile tag that shows an interest in getting started. So let me show you what the tags look like in this system. You're actually going to need a number of tags, and you're going to use those in an automation. So this is all stuff that you really want to work out before you actually put your opt-in form in place. So for this planning your business strategy, you can see I have system fulfillment. So here's what's going on. System is a tag that when it's assigned to an email account, a contact in FluentCRM, will kick off an automation that is listening for a specific tag. So system is what I use. Fulfillment is the type of message I'm sending. So I'm fulfilling an order for a product. It's a free giveaway. It's a free ebook, but it's still a fulfillment. Then I also have history and status. So I'll show you this in the automation. These both have a role. And then there are also system, status, and history for the marketing emails that I'll be sending off later. So I just want to show you what those are. I'm going to explain how these work when we take a look at the automation. Likewise, you can also create a list if you want to keep everybody who's subscribed based upon one of your email opt-in campaigns. So I have a nurturing list that I keep for these different things. And nurture means that I'm not necessarily trying to sell them something. I'm trying to help them extract more value out of the lead magnet that I gave them. So for this ebook, Planning Your Business Strategy, the people that will join this list ultimately will be folks that have the ebook, they have the article, and there's different sections in there, and I'll send them emails to people who join this list, and that will be in the email sequence. So here's what I typically do. I'll try to get 4 emails in a nurture sequence. You could be more or less. It's up to you, really. So with each of these emails, you notice the first line says, after 1 day from the starting point. The starting point is when they get the tag that kicks off the nurture list. So when they get that tag, the automation starts up, it puts them in the sequence, and then it waits 1 day. So they've already got their lead magnet, the ebook that I sent them. The very next day, they'll get this one. And this article or this email is, what is your vision? And we talk about vision inside of that article. And I give this little email just to kind of build upon what is already inside of the ebook and give some information and some thought processes that aren't in that article. And I do this. So 2 days after, which is the day after this one, I have another article I send them, and then why your mission matters 3 days after, and then 4 days after. So this sequence starts up, and every day after the ebook arrives, the next day starts off the first one. So that's 5 emails already from me. And that is something you can change. So if we go ahead and click on this, you can see where the delay is. I say +1. You can make that days, you could make that minutes, weeks, months, whatever you want to be. So you don't have to do it every day, but I thought I would drip these things out every day. So how is that working? Let's come over here to automations. And I have 2 here. There's the ebook. This is what I use for fulfillment. So it's waiting for system fulfillment. Now, look, system is something that I saw on a tagging strategy a long time ago, and it had, in my opinion, too many different things in here. But there was a system start and a system stop. I realized you don't need to stop. It will stop when you run out. And I don't need to keep this system in here. This is only to get the automation running. So you could make that, instead of system, you could say start. And that's really to start off the automation. This first step is just listening for someone to get assigned that tag. And when they do get assigned that tag, this automation starts running. The very first thing I do is remove that tag because it's served its purpose. In other words, once it started this automation, I don't need the user to have that tag that might possibly trip it again at some time down the line. But basically, I want it to run once. And so I remove that tag. What I do next is I apply a couple of tags, history and status. The purpose of the status is to know who is in the midst of an automation. So during the whole time that they're doing this automation, if they have a status tag, I know that they're running through it. History is permanent. That means that this person who has a history tag, that is something that will stay with their contact record forever. So I can go look at their contacts and I can see what tags they have. And everywhere I see history, I say, oh, they got this ebook. So that stays there. Status is only while they're active in this automation. So I deliver the ebook, and this is an email that will give them a bit of information, and there's a button to click to get their email. And that button can lead to any URL. So in this case, I've got it in the media part of my WordPress system. You could put it on a link from Dropbox or some other online service. It doesn't really matter. As long as it leads to the ebook or whatever resource you want to give somebody, that's the purpose of this email. And then once I've done that and they've got their book, I remove the status because this is over. And I apply another tag because this is going to kick off the next automation. So this system is a marketing message, and that's where the nurture sequence comes in. And of course, in this funnel here, you don't need to have that, but I think it's a nice thing because it just kind of gives you a visual thing. Here's where everything stops. So after this is all about fulfillment. Somebody gets the tag, they run through this thing, apply a few tags, deliver a message for their ebook and a link to download it, and then remove the tags that you need and kick off the next automation. So we'll go back over here. The next automation is this nurture. So you can see I kind of precede these things with something that tells me, okay, here's where I'm sending an ebook for after they've gotten their confirmation. Here's where the nurture sequence comes in after that. So if I click on this one, it's waiting for the system tag. And you can see this one is in draft. I haven't really completed this one yet. And it says remove from tag. So immediately, again, I stop that tag. I apply a list because for the nurture sequence, I want to keep a list of people who've gone through this process. And then I apply my 2 tags, history and status. So these tags and this change here happens almost immediately. As soon as this happens, they remove this tag, they apply this list, they apply these tags. Everything's done in moments, from the start. I apply the tag, and then I set the sequence email. So I set them off on the right sequence, delivering the emails that the day after they get their ebook, they start on this. They get these emails coming in. Now, you could also do this a different way. Let's say that when they get their ebook, you may not want this to start the day after you send that ebook. You may want to apply another tag that doesn't take place until they click that button to download their ebook. So that means you're not sending something when they haven't even downloaded the ebook yet. If they've, get distracted or not near their computer for a while, they don't necessarily download the ebook right away. Neither method is wrong. It's just a matter of what you prefer. So you send that. And after these 4 days go by, I remove the status tag because they're no longer in process. And I apply a welcome tag. And that's where I go through yet another funnel, which is something that tells them more about me. So this sequence tells them more about the topic of the ebook, of what they want. When I go back to the, email sequences, and I go through the welcome, I've got a couple of emails over here. And this kind of gives them something that tells them as soon as they click that or finish up that little sequence, this one goes right away. And then these start coming afterward. So these are things that I want people to know about Suburbia Press. I want them to know about me. And I want them to have, before I start sending them my weekly updates or any digest or any marketing campaigns I have, all of these folks, while they're going through this stuff, are not getting any of the other messaging that I might put out. This is part of the process that people like to use the phrase know, like, and trust. Well, these emails will help them get to know me. I hope they will get to like me and also trust me. So the idea is to show them who I am, what my values are, and which is what happens in this sequence, but also the previous set of emails that's kind of nurturing them through that ebook and breaking out the value of what's inside of the ebook, hopefully gets them to trust me that I know what I'm talking about. That is kind of how my funnel works. You think that you would start off just putting in, an opt-in form, but there's more to it than that. You need to make sure you have a tagging process in place. And then once you tag them, that's when you start communicating with them. That's when you start sending off these different email sequences. And for each ebook that I have a different sequence. As I said, in my case, it's typically about 4 emails. And that all of those lead directly to the welcome sequence, which is about Suburbia Press. It's about me and what we have to offer and what values we have. I will do this for any lead magnets that I want to put in place for those ebooks that we just talked about. I will also do this for affiliate marketing. As I mentioned, Wishlist Member is one of them. FluentCRM is another. Even ConvertBox. I really love ConvertBox, and this makes it very easy for me to set this stuff up and embed it inside of the page. So if we look over here, this is just simply a short code that I got from ConvertBox. I put it inside the WordPress article. Once someone subscribes to this, this just disappears. So it goes away and it's not part of the article anymore. So that way they get what they want. They don't have to spend time on the site to read it, and they can hold on to it. They can take it on an iPad or their phone, whatever they want to. And that just makes it easy as a resource to have. And it puts them on my email list. Of course, people can unsubscribe anytime they want. And hopefully, I think that it's giving some value, because the reason I have this start here is for people who are just beginning their business online. I want to kind of walk them through, here are the different steps of things that you need to be aware of as you're building your business. My job is to help people understand the technology that helps them serve their audience. These articles are part of preparing for that process, things that you need to consider. And they're based upon my own experience of having done some of this work and found out after the fact that I wish I'd known something before. So this is kind of basically, it's a shortcut to go through these articles. And what I wanted to share today was my process for not only providing this information, but also putting it to a form that people can take with them and using that to build my list. So I hope this has been helpful for you. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer them. And if this is good for you, please go ahead, like the video. That helps YouTube understand, and share this with more people. I'd love it if you would subscribe, and we'll see you again in the next video.